Welcome into the Michigan Football Report. I am your host, as always, James Yoder. We are presented by MANSCAPED. If you don't know what MANSCAPED is, believe me, I don't look this good here and down there by accident. The down there is because of MANSCAPED. I clean it up, and let me tell you, the ladies love it, especially Mrs. Yoder. So, lady, go to chatsports.com or manscaped.com/chat. 20% off. Free shipping. Get it before Christmas. Let's take a look at what we found out today and some takeaways from this 2021 Michigan football recruiting class on the early December 16th, 2020 signing day. All right, Michigan has popped up 5 spots since I talked to you about, 6-7 hours ago. We did our morning Michigan Football Report recruiting show. They fell number 15 after we had a couple decommits, right? And so you lose 2 top 100 players, 2 top 50 players on the defensive side of the ball. Michigan drops from number 9 where they started the day down to number 15. But things got a little bit juicy. Some really wacky recruiting commitments from Donovan Edwards and then from Xavier Worthy, which we'll talk about here in a second. But I want to show you where the things shook out, the top 10 classes. Obviously, number 2. Very concerning. Ohio State continues to get the number 1, 2, 3 class in the country basically every year outside of the transition year between Ryan Day from Urban Meyer. Georgia number 3, LSU 4, Clemson's 5. This basically, mirrors what the college football playoff and national championship has looked like the last 4 or 5 years. The rich get richer. Oregon, Oklahoma, the Florida Gators, Notre Dame, and then Michigan at number 10, which I think, although I gave the class an F earlier today, it's an F based on what they needed to get, but I will give Jim Harbaugh and his staff some credit because Rich Rod's last year when everyone was calling for his job, Brady Hoke's last year when everyone was calling for his job, I kind of think those are comparable, 2010, 2014 to this year, 2020, where the recruiting class could have really fell apart, right? You could have had 8 or 9 or 10 guys decommit down the stretch. Donovan Edwards, Xavier Worthy, all these guys could have went elsewhere. But Michigan was able to hold strong, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And one of the biggest pieces of this class, and probably the commitment or the recruitment you've heard about for the longest, it's going on 2 years since Michigan started really pursuing Donovan Edwards. At one point, I think people thought he would be a 5-star. Ended up, number 44 player in the country. So he committed to Michigan, right? He did an outside, really. It was actually pretty hilarious. It was snowing. Those blustering winds. They were trying to film him with a microphone on Zoom on his iPhone, a little stand on ESPN2. It was quite humorous, and a bunch of the blog boys were there, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, recording as well. He went Michigan over Notre Dame. I think Georgia actually ended up probably being the biggest contender, and they've had a lot of success with running backs going into the NFL. So he commits around 1:30, I think it was, Eastern time, he committed. And then later on, it ended up being about 30 minutes after we thought it would be, he started an Instagram Live at some sort of ceremony at his high school. Then he just was about to say something, cut it off. 10 minutes later, dropped a recruitment, Instagram video, a minute long, made us sit through all of it, dropped the Michigan recommit. So I don't know if we ever consider him a decommit, although if you say I'm going to decide between 2 schools, to me that screams decommitment, but we kept him on the commitment list because that's what I guess the recruiting sites did. So Michigan now has 3 what I would call cornerstone offensive players. These guys, Edwards and Worthy, salvage this class. If those both players not come, I would have been stressed the hell out. Whether it's Jim Harbaugh as the coach next year, whether it's Matt Campbell, whether it's anybody else, those guys salvage the class because now you have, with some key offensive line pieces, J.J. McCarthy, Xavier Worthy, Christian Dixon, obviously Donovan Edwards. You have a real core to add to what I think is actually a talented but underutilized and frankly just underdeveloped group of offensive skill position players. So I'm going to ask you guys this question. Next season, 2021, their true freshman year, who is going to make the biggest impact? If you think it's Donovan Edwards, type DE. If you think it's Xavier Worthy, type XW. Now, Michigan could be stacked at both positions with guys who have seen the field. Now, not a ton of production, but think about the running back position. Haskins should be back. Charbonnet will be back if he doesn't transfer. Blake Corum will be a true sophomore. And Chris Evans technically could come back for a 6th year because this year didn't count against his eligibility. Xavier Worthy, same kind of deal. You had 6 players, who have got multiple years of eligibility who were in the 2 deep at wide receiver this year. So he'll be competing with a lot of young players. Type DE for Donovan Edwards, XW for Xavier Worthy down in the comments below this video. And if you guys have waited, it is now the 16th. We're less than 9 days. We're 8 days and change to Christmas. I want to make sure you guys knew about our presenting sponsor of Michigan Football Recruiting Special, MANSCAPED. We've got the 20% deposit bonus, free shipping, chatsports.com. I've done it again. Producers in my ear, James, you've ruined the ad read. I'm so sorry. Manscaped.com/chat. You get the promo code built in. Chat is the promo code and free shipping. I think if you order now, it'll get there by Christmas. So don't delay. Get yourself something. Give your lady a little surprise down below if you've been letting things grow a little bit. Or tell them, hey, I want a gift idea for me. Give me Manscaped, the Lawnmower 3.0. Look, you ever tried shaving down there with like a razor or something like that, like your face? You're always cutting yourself, getting crazy. Get Manscaped. The thing works in the shower. Easy to clean up. They got this newspaper thing, and it's super cheap, especially with our 20% discount. They've got awesome products in there. We love the Perfect Package and the Lawnmower 3.0. Let's keep it rolling with our Michigan football recruiting update. So you got Donovan Edwards, you got Xavier Worthy. Whew! Thank you. We got it. But bad news if you didn't see the show this morning. Some hits on the defense, right? And it's 2 guys so far, but as you'll see, it could be as many as 4 commitments, or potential signees that are not going to end up as part of this class. And I blame that on the uncertainty of coaching staff because that's exactly what these players have said. So Quintin Somerville, who has been committed, to Michigan for a while, number 219 player in the country, out of Scottsdale, Arizona. He flipped this morning from Michigan to UCLA. It's chip season. Chip Kelly gets that commitment to flip. And one that really hurts, a guy I didn't think Michigan he came out of nowhere and committed to Michigan early, Branden Jennings, right? 109 player in the country, so borderline top 100 player, commits to Maryland, signs with Maryland. I know this seems like this was coming from the people who cover this closer than I do, but that seems surprising to me. Even if Michigan didn't have this coaching staff next year, even if Don Brown's not there, wouldn't you want to go to Michigan over Maryland? I'm not sure. But what spells to me with these 2 guys, and 2 we'll talk about here in a second, is I think Don Brown wouldn't give these players a solid commitment, right? And maybe it's not just Don Brown. Maybe it's their position coach. Maybe it's their lead recruiter on the defensive side of the ball. Is Coach Brown going to be back? Are you going to be back? 6 of the 10 Michigan assistant coaches' contracts expire in less than a month on January 11th. So that's some uncertainty because all these guys don't have strong relationships all the time with Jim Harbaugh. They cast a wide net. 20, 30 guys. They're trying to get 3 or 4 to commit throughout a recruiting cycle. I think this means Don Brown is gone. I actually think we might find out if Jim Harbaugh stays, which is still uncertain, that Don Brown will not be a member of this coaching staff. I think we'll know here in the next week or 2, certainly before the end of the year. But is it time to fire Don Brown? Type Y for yes. Type N for no down in the comments. The comment section has been super active lately, so I really appreciate you guys building the community here on the Michigan Football Report. Type Y for yes, N for no. If you type no, though, you cannot just leave. You can't just type no and go have a lunch with your friends, okay? You better give me reasons because since 2018 Ohio State game when Michigan had a chance to win the Big Ten title and got obliterated, this has been a sad state of affairs. Y for yes, of course, N for no, whatever. But make sure you guys subscribe. We're on the cusp of 12,000 subs. We're going to get there soon. Be an MFer. If you guys don't know what an MFer is, that means you're a watcher of the Michigan Football Report, MFR. That makes you an MFer. Always tweet me, hit me, tell me you're an MFer. I'll retweet you, follow you back. All right, some more news. Jaydon Hood doesn't sign. Top 250 player, another linebacker from the state of Florida. He basically came out and said he's not going to sign. He's going through his state high school playoffs right now because they're going in later in the year because they started late down in Florida. And he doesn't know basically what's up with Harbaugh, what's up with Don Brown. So he said once his season is over here in the next week or 2, he is going to try and get up to Michigan, talk to the coaches, see the campus, et cetera, and then he will commit and sign in February. So Michigan still has a chance with him. He did a lot of interviews today with Michigan media, so I think there's a chance he still is a part of this class. 246 linebacker. Certainly Michigan can't turn on any talent on the defensive side of the ball right now. So I hope, no matter what happens, is that Michigan makes decisions on the coaching staff soon and secures his, pledge, his signing, his enrollment at school next year. Now, one more player to talk about. We talked about him earlier this morning. Jaydon McBurrows, cornerback. Michigan's only cornerback in this class. He brought on, I think, 2 last year. Dorian Green, Warren, etc., and Andre Seldon. And you start a couple young guys, but wow, the 3-star number 549 player in the country. He's going to commit tonight on Instagram, 8 p.m. Eastern. So right about an hour from now, actually, guys. So go ahead and follow him. He said he's going to do an Instagram Live. It's at JM McBurrows, so kind of his name. Make sure you hit the underscore, because you don't have the underscore, actually. You go to some woman with a private Instagram account. You're like, this isn't the account I wanted, so I did that mistake myself. He's going to be committing here in under an hour, or about an hour from when we're going to put this up, between Michigan and Miami. One thing to note before we go, right? Matt Dudek, who you guys know I'm not a fan of, right? Matt Dudek, Michigan's recruiting director. I think he's out of his league. He responded to someone calling him out on Twitter, much like I have. Hey, Dudek, 2 defensive tackles in the last 4 years, 1 cornerback in this class, and he might go to Miami? What are you doing? Dudek's tweet said, he responded to somebody, a troll, I guess, or at least a trash talker. I'm feeling happy and generous, so I'll entertain this. The class is, and then in caps, far from done. It will play out better than you know at those positions, defensive tackle, cornerback, 2 signing periods. Believe it or not, enjoy the class, enjoy the day, go blue. So what Dudek is indicating is that he thinks he's got guys ready to commit and sign with Michigan in February at those 2 key positions. So if that's true, cool. I'm not sure Dudek's going to be part of this program coming up, but he certainly thinks he is. He's putting his best foot forward, which I'm not sure how good of a foot that is. But before we go, Michigan finished the number 10 class. Quick recap. Last year, the 14 class. Number 14 class, 19, they had the 2019, the number 8 class, 2018, 22, and then Harbaugh had 2 top 10 classes. 2017, he was number 5 class. 2016, he was number 8. So technically, this is his 4th out of 6 classes, right? So you've got a 5, an 8, an 8, now 10, 14, and 22. So kind of right in the middle there for Jim Harbaugh. All in, it doesn't compete with Ohio State, but you get Woods, so you get Worthy, you get Donovan Edwards, and I think you can at least leave the day saying the class was salvaged in some way, shape, or form. That's the show for today. Make sure you get on Instagram a little later and see what Jaydon McBurrows does. Subscribe to the channel, be an MFer, hit this button. Don't miss our next video because we're coming out with some great stuff. I have so many rumors right now, so many things we're going to talk about soon. You don't even want to know. If you missed my video earlier today, I've got it right here. I've got some more Michigan football news and rumors for you right here. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Go Blue.